Now then, welcome. Thank you for downloading or streaming this podcast. Please be advised, this podcast contains strong language, banter of a sexual or racial nature that some viewers may find offensive. If you are easily offended, please do not listen to this podcast. Spank your... One of the reasons why I do this podcast is because A, I don't get out of the house much, and B, it builds my self-confidence. So every time you guys send a donation or an affiliate or buy something via the affiliate link, as cheesy as it sounds, you really are making my days that bit brighter. To see how you can help the show, simply check the show's show notes.
He got a basket!
You wanna play 21?
We got it for you, nigga!
Jesus!
Jeff Harvey.
I've been in the danger zone.
-5 stars!
What's this skyway?
Oh, no. I don't know!
Look at the adjective!
Every week I always forget to fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Turn down the volume on that fucking outro. So it just sounds like you guys get double echo, like double rainbow. What is going on, everyone? Every pony, greetings, salutations, your mum. It is the Makeba podcast, Fox Spots, and I am drinking Monster Ripper energy drink. It keeps my mind sharp, it keeps me absolutely fucking bouncing off the fucking walls, and that's what's happening right now. Now, this is the part where, if it was the Steve Austin show, I would be doing an affiliate link for Monster's energy juice. But no cunt has contacted me. No one. I keep saying to people, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do the other, and sometimes it is actually my fault. I do actually have affiliate links, but something went wrong with my applications for them, so that all went to shit. So basically, we're starting from point one again. I can't be bothered to put the no sponsors link because it's kind of not no sponsors. Advert in because it's kind of not true. I do have ways of getting sponsors, but it's a lot more anal than I thought it was. So I'm going to talk to a couple of friends. I'm going to talk to a couple of bits. I'm just going to do some research and talk to people and see what I can come up with. Now, you guys noticed I said at every pony at the beginning of the show. Now, I don't want to spend too long on it because, I say the word brony and people lose their shit. Basically, it's 6:15 and a new episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic has aired. And this week it was about Griffins. I believe the town was called Gryffindale, and basically Griffins are wankers. Griffins are wankers that don't socialise, who don't interact with people, which is kind of funny because this is the reason why I've been doing this podcast in the first place. It is to interact with people. It is to get an audience behind me, and also to invoke conversation. And because of my wicked tongue, it's got me in a lot of great places, like Max Wrestling podcasts. I promote them as much as I can do. Sometimes I just get so ill that I literally just sit in front of my my coffee table, my sofa, and I don't even look at cat videos. I just stare at my screen a lot, and I kind of just pace up and down sometimes in sheer frustration. And that episode of My Little Pony thing really got me in the feels because at the end of the episode, one of the Griffins, she talks to someone random, and they share cakes together, and even now that's kind of getting me in the feels, because that's really what I want to do. That's really what I want to. This is the reason why the podcast exists. It's to connect with people. I was actually thinking, one of the things I want to talk about is TNA, by the way. I was thinking about bringing someone else onto the show, but I didn't have the courage to ask them to come along. Hopefully after this episode, I'm going to contact Lemsey again and see if we can grab him for a chat for the other episode of this week's podcast. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you know, I can't thank you guys enough for listening to the podcast and for following me on Twitter, for liking what I do, the YouTube. Hunger Within has got quite a few views. A couple of videos that I do in terms of the podcasts, that gets quite a lot of views. And also, I recently just did a video on Mortal Kombat, reaction to fatalities. I'll try and post a link if I remember. Oh, where's my Evernote? Because it's very important I remember that. But I just want to thank you guys very, very much for showing interest in the podcast, the projects that I do. I've recently just finished doing a voice acting job. It's going to be my first acting job in about 2 years. So I'm really excited and hope that that comes out well. Actually, it's going to be my first performing role in about 5 years, because if you guys saw the film that I did for James Lyman, apologies, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. You guys know that, but that was more of a cameo, if you will. So this one is actually my first speaking role in over 5 years. That was just me getting off my arse and doing something and creating something and reaching out to people. And I'm really touched. I'm really grateful for that opportunity to do something that I love. I love performing arts. I love professional wrestling. I have done since I was a kid. I'm 33 now, and I'm full of so much love, and I think that's going to link me in nicely to basically us as a community, the professional wrestling community's reaction to a lot of the things what happened. Now, there was Impact over the weekend. The less I say about Impact, the better, because everybody knows what Fox's spot of the week is. It's Eric Young choking Kurt Angle out with a prosthetic leg, choking him out. I think it was almost like a. It's not like a crossface. I can't. I keep thinking of it as the Benoit move, the crippler crossface, isn't it? Something like that. But it was kind of like that, but not over the face, not over the mouth area. It was more just under the neck, so it was like a choke out. So literally, yeah, it was a choke out. It is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. If it wasn't so well done, you could easily mistake it for an angle, an old WCW angle. But lo and behold, no, it wasn't. It was Eric Young being Eric Young, and that is my Fox's spot of the week. Join me next week, because next week I'm going for Fox. No, I'm not ending this show there. Hang on. I'm running out of bloody energy, so I shall continue to drink my Monster energy juice. Keeps me sharp, keeps me going. And I'm even doing the Stone Cold Austin thing. If this was a video episode, you would see me very much pointing at my screen, telling you to buy this fucking drink. But lo and behold, I don't have the sponsor, so I don't get paid for it. So that's the last time I'm going to mention that. So yeah, let's talk about the shenanigans of the wrestling community, particularly with two things. The first thing, our friends over at Wrestle Talk TV, if you guys are watching Impact Wrestling in the UK on Challenge TV, remember to use the hashtag ImpactUK and join the conversation. I'm always tweeting on there, so I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on all the fucking crazy shit that happens this week on Impact Wrestling. But after Impact Wrestling, the hashtag changes from Impact Wrestling to WTTV. So WTTV. And one of the things that I became really passionate about is to give divas a chance thing. And it's been several months now. AJ Lee is retired. Eva Marie has gone into doing a ridiculous amount of training. I've heard something about next week's NXT. I hear that she debuts on next week's NXT, so I'm super stoked to hear to see the work that she's done, see how much she's improved. Because I'm one of these few people that actually I love Eva Marie on the mic, even though she's not a great micer. She's got that swag, she's got that confidence, and that is one of the things to me that just makes her really, really sexy, like fucking Lita sexy. It's that confidence, and none of the other divas at this time, I mean, Dana Brooke does it, but she's more irritating than she is entertaining in my eyes. But I think she's going for being a heel with actual heat rather than heel with a popularity thing going on. Maybe, but I haven't seen enough of her to say yeah she's going for that. But that swag of Eva Marie's, my God, that woman can certainly be a future women's champion if she applies herself. So I feel that she's taken a lot of the criticism that, frankly, the whole of the pro wrestling community has thrown at her over the past 2 years, and I'm guilty of it as well. My God, the abuse I threw at that woman. If anybody knows Eva Marie, or if anybody listens to the show, and if they go to the house shows, or if they come across Eva Marie, apologize on my behalf. For fuck's sake, please. She seems to be doing a lot of work at the moment. She's working her arse off, and I, for one, cannot wait to see what she does in the ring. I really hope that she improves. In fact, furthermore, I kind of want her to do a feud with Dana Brooke. I think when she was first announced onto the roster, when she signed a development contract, I was genuinely excited. She looked like the total package, but what I've seen of her, I'm not impressed. It's not to say that I cannot be impressed, but I feel like she's got a long way to go, and this current feud with Charlotte, I hope it's a feud, might just give her that extra spark that she needs. So, I got very, very angry. Oh my God, I got very angry with some of the thoughts and ideas mentioned on that episode of WTTV, and basically the meat and veg of my tweets were I was raised pretty much in a single parent family. I'm still in contact with my dad every once in a while. I love him to death, but I'm more in contact and I'm more in sync with my mum, even though she pisses the fuck out of me sometimes. But hey, it's family. I'm sure I piss the fuck out of her. I'm sure that my sister gets annoyed with my mum. I'm sure that my mum gets annoyed with my sister. It's a family thing. It's never anything overly aggressive. Anyway, I'm from a single parent family. I spent time raised by women, and the idea, because let's be honest about this, there's someone at Titan headquarters, WWE Connecticut, who really doesn't have the faith. Let's be honest about this. Who doesn't have the faith in all of the divas, not just the current strap holder, which is Nikki Bella. Which, I'm going to be honest with you, if you can't get Nikki Bella over, if you can't get the Bellas over in this period, you've had a year. I'm going to say this started off from SummerSlam last year. We're coming up to a year back. SummerSlam happened last year. Probably one of the most eagerly awaited fights wasn't the Divas Championship. Don't get me wrong, the Divas Championship was on that card, if I remember. We actually had a new champion in Paige, if I remember again. But no question, the biggest draw from a female perspective was the Bellas, Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon, and God bless her, Stephanie McMahon did her fucking utmost to work Brie, to make her look good, to make both. I mean, even Triple H came down and tried to make them look good. But all I remember from that match is how fucking good that Stephanie McMahon looked, even though she was trying to make other people look good. So anyway, I mean, we've had a year to help to push the Bellas, and for me it's not working. But this is from a naturally pro wrestling background. From a reality TV background, maybe it is working. Maybe there's a lot of teen girls, maybe there's a lot of reality TV fans who are inspired by the Bellas, who actually have started watching wrestling because of the Bellas. I very much feel, I don't watch Total Divas, but I feel that they are probably the cornerstone of that show. So, having said that, from last year to now, I'm yet to see anything to top SummerSlam. And I feel it's from a writing perspective. Because it's not like the divas are getting less or more time to work at something. If you look at the average match on the WWE, it's about 10 minutes long, sometimes 10 painful minutes long. I'm thinking of things, I'm thinking of insignificant matches like a fucking Stardust versus R-Truth. I'll say it again, poor R-Truth, man. But two-time former NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and he just continues to get shat on. Anyway, and I kind of feel that we, the pro wrestling community, are more than giving divas a chance. We never have not given divas a chance. The problem is that there's a lot of alpha male Greek mythology storytelling still going on. It's also global superpower storytelling still going on in the WWE, and a lot of the other more possibly more interesting storylines are getting sidelined. And also, it's also the fact that they're banning an amount of moves. So I mentioned Crazy Mary Dobson a lot this past week because I generally feel like her and Lucha, I can't pronounce the name. You guys know I'm terrible at pronouncing names. They are one of the few women in the world who do hardcore wrestling like fucking CZW hardcore wrestlers do. I'm talking about blading, I'm talking about power drivers, I'm talking about selling chair shots with your head, old school kind of stuff. And I feel that kind of storytelling clearly doesn't have a place for women in general in the WWE. God, that feels like such a weight off my shoulders. If I sound like I'm talking bollocks, it's because of this brand X energy drink that I'm drinking. But I just wanted, from a fan for the past 20 odd years, I do feel that women's wrestling, not anywhere else, weirdly enough, but it's mainly a WWE problem, a WWE main product problem, which is why the women's title NXT got co-main event. Now, if that was if that card was a WWE main card, that would be classed that spot that the Becky Lynch Sasha Banks match of the week, by the way, was put in. WWE main roster main card would say that's a dead spot. For some unknown reason, it doesn't exist anywhere else in pro wrestling. It doesn't exist in TNA. To the best of my knowledge, it doesn't exist in Ring of Honor. It doesn't exist in Japan. But for some unknown reason, the WWE has this thing called a dead spot. And I think it stopped around about last year. But they would have a co-main event, if you will. So they put one half of the co-main event on. Then they would have this filler match. And poor Divas, it would usually be the Divas Championship or whatnot. Now, by a stretch of a lot of people's imagination, that should be the co-main event if it's built correctly. Now, the problem is that I was one of the few people that was excited to have this Naomi heel turn and wrestle Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship, but for some unknown reason that storyline just became non-existent. It was nice what they did. They did a battle royale that arguably shouldn't have taken place in the first place, but for story purposes, I actually feel that was done weeks in advance. That Naomi was just going to turn heel weeks in advance. She kind of felt a bit wooden in terms of what moves she was doing. Yeah, I feel that was booked for a while ago. So they had this battle royale. Naomi lost, Paige won, and Paige got written out apparently to do a film with The Miz. Yeah, the less said about that, the better. Anyway, I've spent the past 10 minutes talking about this. I need to move on. But then the meat and veg of it is this. We, as a community, do give divas a chance. Couple of people, I'm not naming names because I don't know most of the names, but I'm betting Vince is one of the names. I mentioned the name. Anyway, there's a couple of people in creative that need to spread the show equally in terms of storylines and shenanigans. And yes, it is good that WWE have this do all this charity stuff. It's nice when the guys from the Special Olympics come in and wave to the audience. It's nice when we have breast cancer people, you know, have ringside seats. It's nice when the US National Army come and they get the recognition that they deserve. But there's a time and a place for it. And the reason why Raw was given 3 hours in the first place, you would think, was to give more time for storytelling, feud building, and actual fucking wrestling. To me, every time I watch the WWE Raw 3 hours thing, I'm constantly bored. Constantly. It's only the past couple of weeks that's kind of spiked my interest and thought, oh, maybe I should watch the Cena United States Open Challenge. Whoever thought of that, maybe Cena, probably Cena, fits his persona, should be fucking knighted, because that is one way certainly to generate buzz and to what's the term I'm thinking of? What is that fucking term? Poke. To poke your audience. It's a fighting term. If you're playing Street Fighter, you're jostling for space. So when I say poke at an audience, I'm talking about test the water, almost like poke your toes into the deep end. And what better way to do that than this open challenge, because it literally opens the door for anyone to come along, and it's surprising, and it's just, I fucking heart the John Cena Open Challenge. God bless you, sir. It's clear that you're listening to the show and you're taking my advice. Rusev, let's give that guy a pay-per-view. Let's give him a pay-per-view or two to see what happens, life after being a US champion, life after the ridiculously long USA versus Russia feud. It wasn't even about fucking Cena versus Lucha. It was United States flapping its cock around and showing off to the rest of the world against Russia. That's all that I can see it as, straight up. So let's move on. Let's talk about what happened on Wednesday. Now, as I said, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, no question, the match of the week. The psychology in that match, the storytelling, the actual wrestling, the execution of the ring moves, perfect. I'm not fucking. There's no other words to describe it. Absolutely perfect. In fact, I might even go so far to say that is my favourite match of the month so far. And also, I bummed the fuck out of Becky Lynch's new intro. It's kind of like steampunk edge. That's all it is. Steampunk edge with a punky Irish background, Irish soundtrack. It's brilliant. But other than that, we had another Sami Zayn beatdown. I really hope he's going on to the main roster now, because I kind of feel that. I kind of feel Sami Zayn's done in NXT. Don't get it twisted. NXT. Moving on to the main roster. Go. Anyway, also what happened? The arrival of Samoa Joe, and the internet lost its shit. But on the downside of that, almost like a earthquake ripple effect, these nasty TNA rumors surfaced again. Now, when I first got into TNA's product, I don't know the development product, but I'm certainly aware of their main product, and I've been aware of it for the past 5 years now. I took a 2-year gap. I think I took a 2-year gap. Because there was a couple of storylines that made me cross. You guys know who I am. I'm non-monogamous, and I get easily jealous when there's a woman that I have a crush on gets a new partner. It's the reason why I don't follow Michelle Keegan anymore on Twitter. I don't follow her anymore. It's like, what's that? Oh, you've got new nails. I don't give a shit. I'm the jealous type. And I'm not going to apologise for that anymore. I keep, as you guys know, on the main podcast, I'm done with apologising. I can only hope that you guys are still with me because of my shenanigans. Anyway, I took a break from TNA for a couple of years. I came back, and as long as far as I can remember, we've always had these rumours, and I feel what makes this one the most disappointing is we've got Dave Mazzara. You guys know me, I can't pronounce names. Actually respond to these reports. I actually think he's the one who recorded, who spoke of these reports, but saying that TNA has been has been cancelled on Destination America, which is linked to the Discovery Network. And guess who's on the Discovery Network? Discovery Family. And what is shown in Discovery Family? My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. So from a performing arts kind of business perspective, if these rumours are true, TNA has got very, 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 very violent over the past couple of weeks. So from a business perspective, if these rumours are true, it would kind of surprise me, but it kind of wouldn't surprise me. You guys know, but I don't watch mainstream television. But from my understanding of the Discovery Network, the Discovery Network mantra, it's very much educational, it's very much family based, it very much has a family kind of background. So when you see niggers biting niggers' eyebrows off, niggers getting hit in the face with an elbow protector, in a story sense, and then them getting beat with this thing so badly that blood literally spurts out of their heads, giving them the good old crimson mask. God, I love me and my fucking ultraviolet. Anyway, in out. From a business perspective, if I was, quite frankly, this cornflake eating, Christian, God fearing, family loving, wife, one man only kind of guy, I'd be like, that's shocking, that's disgusting, that's coming off my network. But on the flip side of that, it also, from a Destination America perspective, it's also bringing it. You have to understand, with these kind of things from a performing arts perspective, it's a merger of minds. So when you have like wrestling fans that we are, join a new TV networking, it's a chance to swap knowledge. It's a chance to swap ideas of what we have, and we began to see this with. Personally, spirits are not my thing, because I'm scared of spirits and scared of ghosts. I do actually believe that they exist. But when they started doing the Revolution and the Ghost Finder people TV thing, from from an advertising perspective, that was interesting. I wasn't interested in it because A, I don't have access to to Destination America, and B, I'm just not interested in that show in general. But there are a few times where it does work. I think of the Stone Cold Steve Austin Broken Skull Challenge. I actually did some research on that, and one of the clips I came across was Crazy Chris. Oh my god, guys! If I remember, fucking YouTube search Crazy Chris Broken Skull Challenge. If you guys know the work that I do on my main podcast and the kind of work that I want to create, politicians getting raped, teenage boys getting samurai sword cut across their throats, so you can literally hear the brace spray out like broken water veins. That's the kind of shit I'm on. I love blood, I love guts, I love me some dramatic ultraviolet. How are these Clockwork Orange references doing for you, by the way? So Crazy Chris is a contestant from Broken Skull Challenge, and the clues in the name. He's very much a hybrid of Yo Elliott from the Elliott Fuse, or whatever the fuck his name is. The guy who a couple of weeks ago on my show, the video clips, was talking about birds dropping from a height and they can either fly or they can go splat. Hope that brings back some memories for some of you guys who are familiar with the show. So yeah, sometimes it does work, but sometimes it can scare people off. And if these rumors are true, it would be a shame, but hopefully that will take us to somewhere else where that will take TNA somewhere else that will appreciate pro wrestling, just like Challenge appreciates and actually enjoys pro wrestling. I kind of get that feel now, and there's a mutual love that's happening. I mean, you see Challenge Network tweeting about Impact Wrestling. They do blog posts. They appreciate pro wrestling. Also, that's also the home of Wrestle Talk TV, and has been for 4 or 5 years actually, or even longer. So, if these rumors are true, Destination America's loss will be someone else's gain. Hopefully. If it isn't true, then it kind of the way that we responded to what happened was there was a lot of blaming of the dirt sheets. There was a lot of Impact Wrestling guys kind of hinting at hinting at what I've already said. You know, these rumors will never die as long as there's a main competitor to the WWE product. There will always be people who are making rumors or hearing things and wishing the worst of it. So for me, I don't want to go too deep into the reasons why these things happen. They just do, you know. These kind of things are kind of like marriage. If you're a friend or if you're a family, and if you've been invited to this married couples get together and whatnot, and if they have an argument, for me personally, I instantly think the worst. I think, them niggas getting divorced, straight up. Word is born. Them motherfuckers, yo, pre-num in the morning. Good God, you're getting pre-num in the morning. Pre-num in the morning. But yeah, I just, unless I hear something official from Dixie Carter, for me, that's nil and void. So, I shall bring this episode of Fox Spots to a grinding halt. Although, what I will do, I will end with honourable mentions of Fox Spots, because we all know what Fox Spots are. We've known since Sunday. Oh, actually, shit, let me check my notes. Okie dokie dokie, I am back. I had to check my notes, which usually means I had to check the footage and remind myself of all the great action that we had over the week. So, a lot of action that's happened. Ridiculous amount of action that is going to have an honourable mention. So I think I'm just going to spit them out. First one will be the trios match. Oh shit! I forgot to talk about from next week. I'm thinking of I'm going to start covering Lucha Underground. So if you guys are excited about that, retweet your friends, don't retweet your family unless they're comfortable with the word cunt. And also if they're comfortable with the word nigger. And also if they're comfortable with the word bitch. Anyway, so I'm going to start covering Lucha Underground from next week. We have to talk about this spot. Basically, I don't even know. But basically, for some reason, I'm just trying to remember his name now. Oh God, no, I don't know any of their names. But I believe it's pronounced Angelico. Angelico gets up on top of this, I don't know, it's kind of like this office thing. He must be about 20 feet up. I know nothing about feet. So let's just say 20 feet. 20 is a nice round number. So the original spot he was going to do is he was going to jump off this office onto a table where obviously there was someone waiting for him to give him a hug, but someone comes up behind Angelico. He gets a kendo stick. He gets the shit beaten out of him with this kendo stick, so he's laying down on top of this office for quite a period of time. Fast forward to later on in the match, and one of the crew members is about to climb the ladder. This is a ladder match for the Trios Championship. So whilst he's climbing, everyone has completely forgotten about Angelico, or however you pronounce his name. This nigga runs off the building, never mind 20 feet, he runs off the fucking building into the ring and drop kicks this guy off the ladder. Hopefully I'll remember to put the GIF in the note description, but it is without question this is the second week in a row, fucking row, this nigga has done this, or maybe second time this month. I'm not counting, but he's certainly done this again. He's certainly done this recently. In fact, it was the week before. It is one of the most insane Lucha athlete things it's just fucking insane. So that gets a mention. Another thing that gets a mention, of course, we can't talk about this week without talking about WWE Payback. We cannot talk about Payback without talking about the main event. It was former Shield members and Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, I was going to say Ted DiBiase, I don't know why, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and my brain's dying, John Cena. It's not John Cena, it was fucking Randy Orton. Triple powerbomb to Randy Orton. Memories of the Shield. Enough said. And it's one of those moments where it was so unexpected, because obviously we know in terms of storylines that everybody outside of the Shield hates Seth Rollins. So Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose hate Seth Rollins. That's kind of the thing that they're going with. So the idea of them to just almost out of nowhere, ironically, since they're doing it to Randy Orton, to triple powerbomb him, and just the reaction from all three of them and the crowd, they were marking out, I was marking out. It was so random, but it was so perfectly done. What else? Am I missing one? I'm probably missing something from SmackDown, but I don't really care about SmackDown. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'm just gonna say Banks against Lynch. The majority of that match. Just put that in there. And last and not least, because it got everybody losing their shit. Kevin Owens pop up powerbombing John Cena. In the immortal words of the Teletubbies, again. You can't. It's one of those videos you can't not watch once. You have to watch it twice. And then you realise you were hungry, so you watch it again whilst